my good people, good morning. I am Mutwenje Priska here with you on Edutainment for Us. Welcome, welcome, and I hope you're fine. Today I've decided to do an early reaction because the sun sometimes is very merciless, and again I'm free currently, so we'll be here for 1 hour before I decide to go to the other channel. So welcome, welcome, feel free to be here and give your contribution. You can see my title is a kind of question, so I have open room for both both those who feel there is a molestation or rather a breaking of a marriage, and those who feel that we are talking about a rescue here. Now guys, there is one thing I want you to think about even before we just decide to go into a reaction. Hey, I've been watching Murimi and David Jr. for a long time because I really follow, all right? I tend to think that David Jr., as far as he's actually collecting around whatever he's doing, he really looks at those who really need the assistance. You know, there are those who really need the assistance and those who are focusing on themselves, okay? And that is why even on Marwa, when he started to actually do something for Brian, after Mark decided to intervene, I was like, that's something good, okay? So I've been checking around from some people, and they are considering David Jr.'s move as something that is a home breaker thing. Considering that Chagwa, is it Chagwa really? The wife of Matiko went in the same way. So, do you really believe that Halima was supposed to continue staying with Murimi regardless of him turning her into a bunch box? Guys, you know, I have a sister who was actually molested in a marriage, and that is why I cannot stand with Murimi in this case, not at all. Even though some people feel like David Jr. was not supposed to be the one to intervene, maybe he was supposed to inform Halima what to do, just like MWANGO said she can only inform her, but I still feel that if there is no one talking about it, then David Jr. is just doing the correct thing. The only fear is that Murimi might do something bad on him. But the reality is, guys, you cannot see someone being abused, molested. I want to ask you, in your sincere position, for example, if you find a child who is being abused, even if it is their parents, you know, a child who is being abused maybe has been closed in a room, they don't go to school, they are being beaten, you know, they are not being given food, they don't have clothing. Would you just go away because you don't have to poke your nose into people's affairs? That's what I want to ask. On humanity ground, would that be allowed? Yeah, the other day I said that clearly some women are just too, you know, submissive. Some women are just too submissive. They think that the society, you need to do what people want you to do. The reality is life is not like that. I've come to learn of late that sometimes if you go by what people want you to do, you will never get where you want to go. Never. Now, if there is a selfish interest in whatever David Jr. is doing, that is something people have to investigate and tell us exactly what is his selfish interest. And of course, many people think that he's doing that so that many donors now shift from Murimi to Halima and he begins earning from it. Okay? But what if we look at the fact that he ensures that Halima gets some skills and she gets to be reliant? You know, we cannot progress in this country if women will continue to be submissive and be oppressed by men or their husbands. And I'm not saying that women need to disrespect their husbands. But then, does respect mean you'll be beaten every day and you just sit there and forgive and life goes on? I'm not seeing any future for Murimi. If he continues to drink or take liquor, then sell the food in the house. Let me tell you, maybe some of you are just talking because you have found good husbands. Even your sisters have not gone the encounter that Halima has gone through. And you have never seen a woman who is just doing out of desperation. Do you know? I was talking about Halima in the previous video. Clint Ramorwasi, please subscribe to the channel. I know you are new. From Limopo. Hey, where is Limopo? I'll have to check. Welcome, welcome here. Let me see where Limpopo is. Limpopo or Limpopo? Because Limpopo is in South Africa. All right. Thank you for your love. I really appreciate. So you mean from South Africa? Okay, I hope so. So welcome. I don't know. They had a great weekend. Thank you so much. Okay. This is a flag of South Africa, I can see. So lots of love from South Africa. Thank you so much and welcome here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel also because I know you are new. Thank you, thank you. We had a great weekend too, and that is why we are here doing this video, though I was a bit tired by Monday. I don't know. My body cannot stand so much, you know. So, Clint Ramorwasi, welcome, welcome. We are on a reaction on matters brutality. And if you have a thought about what I'm going to talk about, kindly contribute toward the topic, okay? And I know many people will be coming. I've done my reaction very early. People are not used to this hour for me. And I know I'll be doing another later. You know, reaction must continue, lessons must continue, vlogs must continue. I have another one. I'll be doing a premiere later. So welcome, welcome, and feel free to be here. All right? So, DXH. What does that mean? DXH. Okay. So, guys, there is one thing I want us to be genuine with. Very genuine about it. And without necessarily feeling like we have to keep attacking somebody here. Davy Jr. might have his faults, okay? Maybe in how he's handling things, especially looking at the fact that the chief warned him that the family of Matiko might be turning against the Ondari family. I'm looking for a situation whereby soon it is possible that the family of Matiko will become a very serious enemy, not Matiko but Murimi, just like the Matikos are. However, Davy Jr. said he does not care. I hope he will not regret it, okay? I hope he will not regret it. But when you look at the two families, what I realize is that Murimi's family, they are reckless, because if they really allowed Murimi to sell his land, the only asset he has, because this guy got a B- at high school, but he has kept his papers in the house. Nobody is pushing him to go back to school and pursue a course. You know, it's like the family gave up on him after they sold land to educate him. Davy Jr. had to remind him all that. Clint is saying we will be able to make a difference for the youth. For the use of what? Okay. So the reality is, Davy Jr. seems not to care what will happen. Okay? And when we look at the matters that are currently out there online, or rather in their videos, Davy Jr. started and he's continuing. He doesn't seem to stop. Now, when I look at the many men in Nyabohanse, I look at Mayugno, for example. The wife was had to separate from him, and it was clear that Mayugno had indicated he wants to marry a white woman. When you look at Gitriba, there is also the same situation. Look at the situation of Murimi. I think you people saw very well in the video. Murimi justifying that all families must have quarrels. There is a difference between a quarrel or a difference and abuse. Now tell me, you people, how many of you, men or women, can stand someone beating you up in a marriage? How many? Because personally, I cannot. Hey, I cannot. Okay? So if you cannot stand someone beating you in a marriage, now I want to now extend that to, can you stand your daughter or your sister to be always abused in marriage, and you just encourage them that it is their home, let them stay? I don't think that makes sense. It doesn't make sense, right? So when we come to the sins of omission and sins of commission, based on the Catholic Church, I believe that if you look at something happening and you don't act, that is the sin of omission. On the other hand, if you see something happening and you participate in it, that is a sin of commission. So I am just thinking about why Davy Jr. had to intervene in Murimi's case. He has been a close friend to Murimi, but he realized that many people are ready to support Halima because Halima is hardworking. And there is a day I said here that Murimi is continuously being lazy and all he does is to receive money and then go drink. He jumps around and says, Mama yangu, Mama yangu. But the reality is that he does not really work on his life. So guys, let's be for truth and for genuinity and not just to want to attack anybody here. Because I'm one person that really hates aspects to do with domestic violence. Domestic violence should not be withstood, just like child abuse should not. So how comes people are there saying that it was wrong for Davy Jr. to actually intervene in this case? Did he not do right to rescue Halima? Do you think he rescued Halima or he broke her home? Because when you decide to beat your wife, you have already broken your home, even before anyone comes in. And one thing that was making Halima forgive and stay is because she was helpless, trapped. Murimi is a narcissist. All of you have agreed that he's a dangerous person who can easily even do something to Davy Jr. So how do you think then a woman should stay under him, under his wings? And this woman has started receiving support. Now, do you seem to disagree that women should not be empowered? That is my question. That is what I'm asking, because when you watch those videos and people come about and say that Davy Jr. is breaking the home, for me, I disagree totally. I disagree totally, because if a child is being abused, we know even the government takes away the child from their parents if they are being abused. You saw the situation of America, the child who had been put in a house for years and was emaciated. That family. When they saw that this person was supposed to be rescued, they went and rescued. So my question is, do you want Halima to stay there and wait for her death? Because physical abuse or violence can lead to death if possible. If nothing is done about it, there is a possibility of someone being beaten and even being injured. Now, I ask you guys, because I saw a lot of reactions, and most of the people are just targeting to point out a finger at Davy Jr. and indicate that he was interfering with the family. Did he not interfere with the family himself when he began to molest Halima? Because I think you better watch those videos. And Murimi was talking with his chest out. You know, for me, I don't stand again to defend abuse. I would rather defend that who is rescuing than that who is abusing. And why am I saying this? This guy is so useless. One thing in the video that was being shown the other day, he was standing there borrowing fertilizer. Hey, borrowing fertilizer from Davy Jr., the same Davy Jr. that the family has turned against, and they're indicating he has taken away their wife. Davy Jr. cannot be interested in Halima. Even though people are saying if she gets pregnant and she has a baby, then they'll have to raise questions. What if she meets another man? You don't say that when a woman separates from a man, he will be there waiting. She's not a ball to be kicked around. She's not a pot also to be just waiting for water to be poured in. I saw another comment, someone was saying that Davy Jr. seems to be attracted to women who are in danger. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. Many people have claimed otherwise about Davy Jr., okay? So why then have you turned tables and you have begun to say that Davy Jr. is after Halima? The reality is that if you have ever had a relative who has suffered in the hands of physical abuse of a narcissist, you would understand what I'm talking about. Because personally, I've had a sister who was married to a drunkard, a man who was drinking and even taking bang. And that man used to molest her, beat her up. She was so thin. If I show you the picture of my sister currently after divorce, you cannot say anything. So I don't think it's right that we really support a family that is encountering abuse, even though Davy Jr. is not married. Does that mean he does not know physical abuse, or he does not understand the kind of family they must have? Okay, the reality is that the exposure of Machete Man was supposed to be also coming out. We should also have seen Machete Man exposed in his bad behaviors of, abuse, especially abusing Concret's mom at that age is not right. It is not right. And I don't even justify when we also heard about Marwa having beaten Rosho. If people have differences, you would rather just agree and someone goes away. You separate your ways. You don't have to keep beating somebody for anything. Anyway, let's get to the video where Davy Jr. is expressing what he's going to do for Halima. Let's get to this.
Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. My name is Davy Jr.
Let's get to this.
It's already confirmed, So they are doing contract. Yeah, so zero supervision. That's why even Daddy is not here. Yeah. Me too, Zero supervision. Yeah. That's what. Yeah. They do it quick as long as the engineer is also here and see what's happening. Exactly. Yeah.
What is the third claims?
You remember? What are you doing? I should be there. I know to estimate. For her own privacy because it's alright. So maybe we wanna be buying her lots of clothes, guys. That's why I told you if you can support Halima, feel free to support her. Even she doesn't have clothes. She needs to dress properly as a lady, Yeah, because she'll be going to school soon. But today okay, let me put on the windows that people won't see her, for her own privacy because this is Nyabohansi for you. Okay? Yeah, guys, and also they know my car. It's very popular on this street.
That is the only part I wanted to ask. Why do you want to hide Davy Jr.? I believe people in the village already know this, and the village is one place where rumors spread like, fire in a bush, bush fire. By now, everybody, of course, within that village knows what is happening between Murimi and you and Halima. And in fact, closing the window would expose you more to people thinking otherwise. And if you are scared about that, you just better leave the window open and continue making your video. Okay? So let's look at this. Clint Ramorasi, I said subscribe to the channel, like the video. I've not seen you do that. And I'm not able to follow your conversation because I'm doing a video reacting towards something. But thank you for keeping around. I really appreciate your presence, okay? Yeah. Let's continue into this.
But anyway, guys, I'm just happy to help where I can. And Halima, she told me she's ready to work hard in school to learn the skill. Okay? So guys, we're heading to the children's department. Yeah, I'm taking you there, by the way. Right there. I know she has never experienced this kind of treatment, especially being driven on the passenger's princess right there. It's a dream come true for her. Yeah. And her, surely when she works hard, even she wanna be buying her own car, driving herself. Because dreams are valid 100%, guys,
Davy Jr. tell her to work smart. Sometimes working hard alone does not really add up to getting what you want. It's about working smart, right? And making it to learn so many things in life. That is the reality. So it's not about working hard. You can work so hard, but you may not achieve your mission. But if you work smart and get the right networks and know the right information, that is where you get to what you want to, okay? So looking at this, then I was checking on Davy Jr. with Halima. She is being taken to the children's home so that she has her baby. Remember, the father to Matiko grabbed the baby. I think I showed you how the father-in-law who had no habits, how can you run around your daughter-in-law almost grabbing the butt hey, to pick a baby. Guys, if that is not, I don't know what to call it. I can't even get a right word for, and I don't want to incite or look like I'm disregarding somebody. Can you imagine? I'm father-in-law, whereby when you have a difference with the son, or a mother-in-law, where when you have difference with the son, all they do is to consider you as the worst person. They don't even consider a moment about what you've done that is good for them. Maybe because they think it is Murimi that has really kept this lady. But when I look at the videos I've been checking, when I look from the time Murimi was drinking, selling land, then he began to borrow around from Jamaican uncle, then he began walking around with Davy Jr. I think the only season he has had the best moment is when he's around Davy Jr. That's the reality. Regardless of the little that Davy Jr. might be picking from them, because that might happen. It is common among human beings when you are receiving 100% for someone, you may pick 50 and leave 50. Whichever percent, I do not know. But the reality is that regardless of doing that, that is the kind of better experience that Murimi has had. And we saw yesterday Davy reminding him, I've plowed for you the farm, the lazy man. I've planted for you, paid people to plant the maize. I've also done for you a toilet. I've done for you the chairs and furniture. And you are there like, Mama yangu, Mama yangu, sijui nifanye nini. And this man was not learning to become better. All he was doing is to relax, receive, and sit. Relax, receive, and sit. We don't do that. Who does that? In life, you be dependent. Fully dependent? No. Put a cross to that. Okay? So, let's get to this. So, Davy Jr. had to go to the children's home and come back. And while at the station, he had to reveal what he did. Okay?
To go there is Halima to seek for the baby, because it's evident on my recent videos. The father-in-law to Halima, the dad to Murimi took the baby. Yeah, it's evident on the video. So this is the later. I don't want to show everything, but you can tell. Okay, maybe you are home, you didn't find Maiden, the baby. She just said out of marriage. So those are the kind of,
Now, can you imagine? This is the same treatment I'm telling you my sister could receive. They would beat her even at night. She fails to even eat supper, and the husband has not brought the food. And then in the morning, they hold on children. They don't want her to go away. And they put spies around the village. I don't want to remember this, guys. It is the worst moment to ever wish for anybody. The worst. And I think we are getting to a moment where we are in modern times. I don't understand why Murimi is stuck in that, but it's about liquor. He is into liquor, then he's lazy, so he wants to even grab some things from Halima. I was surprised. They had to even take the shoes Halima was putting on. How do you chase away a woman and remain with their clothes unless you are barbaric? Hey, guys, how? How do you beat a woman, tell her to go away, and then you remain with everything she had? In fact, the subscribers of Davy Jr. donated goats to Halima, not to Murimi. Those subscribers also brought the bedding because of Halima. But can you imagine all that has been left in the house and she has been forced to go away without any single thing? I'll still apprehend or I'll still appreciate Davy Jr. without blinking. Why? He may be risking his life, but these people who rescue others normally risk. If you don't risk, you cannot rescue anyone. And as I'm saying, my sister had to be rescued by people who cared about her. During the time she was at this man's place, she could go. Imagine someone who has finished Form 4, she had even started a secretarial course. She was being forced to go with people's farms before she could have meals for her children. And you can imagine even by now, the children left when they're almost, one was 1 year, and the other one was almost 5 years. One of the children is now 18, finishing Form 4, and the other one is in Form 2. But does the father care? He has never had to fend anything for the babies. Never. And unlike Murimi's case, he had not paid bride price. But let me ask you guys, does it mean that bride price is guaranteed to having a woman in your house? And I remember Davy Jr. asking this. I normally look at bride price, and when people compare it to owning a wife, and I'm like, you foolish people, when will you stop this nonsense? How do you compare me, a whole me, with cows? Those cows are just given as an appreciation to someone having, born you, and there is blood involved so that there is children there. So you cannot hold your chest and say that dowry was paid, and so a woman should just be molested. I don't think that is the way to go. Let's just tell Murimi the truth. He is not worth being a man if he continues beating a woman. Which man proves themselves by beating a woman? Even when we look at the Nigerian or West African situation, you don't beat a woman by your fist. You beat them by love. So if Murimi does not understand that, let him stay without a wife. He can stay without a wife for all I know, because he doesn't know how to treat a woman. If he has been receiving money, why should he come to the house and begin selling milk belonging to the child? That's a foolish man. I don't expect anyone to defend Murimi, whatever case. Even if Davy Jr. is actually getting involved in family matters. Family matters you can talk about when there is peace, but when there is no peace and someone might be even beaten to death or be destroyed. So you people wanted Halima to stay there so that she is harassed, and then she ends up with a poor life. Her future, even with her children, is poor. A man who starts with selling his land, now he has a very small piece if you look at it. He has a desperate house that looks like, I don't know, a bombed slum somewhere in the, in a suburban of a city. His house did not have anything. The chairs, the bed, the beddings, until the subscribers of Davy Jr. had to buy. If he was a reasonable man, he should have stayed calm and stopped beginning to sell the food. Who does that? You are given food by subscribers who contribute to it, and then you sell. For what? If he wanted money for liquor, he should have gone worked and got that. He didn't have to necessarily come and sell milk belonging to the child. So I don't expect anyone to defend such a person. I don't. All right? And I'm talking because I saw my sister suffer years and years, and I was waiting upon her to walk out of her marriage, and I really encouraged her to walk out of marriage. And I don't regret that she walked out, because if she never walked out, her children would not have get educated. If she never walked out, she would even be dead by now. So I cannot defend Murimi at all. Only what Davy Jr. has to do, he has to be careful. He should not rely on the money he has to say that that is enough to give him safety. But if he feels threatened, of course, he might report. If Matiko has not beaten him, how will Murimi do it? I don't think people are saying that Murimi is worse in terms of reaction than Matiko. I don't think so. Both men are just, they are kind of reactive. Because if they have beaten their women, what can they not do? If Matiko was able to sell his chicks, what will Murimi not do? Murimi is going to sell all the things from that house. Be sure of that. If you are going to continue watching him, and I don't know on whose platform, because David Jr. has disregarded him now. Hey. Anyway, let's continue to watch David Jr. before we come to the MWANGO here.
What they are speaking about. Guys, I have nothing to prove at all. As long as my conscience is okay, I'm good to go. For me, my intentions, they are pure, they are pure. Yeah, just to rescue her, to have a good time. Likewise to other women who enjoy married life. But for her, it's totally different. Okay, I think I should pull attorney Kweke Kyo Ching. Today simply because the baby wasn't around. It will sound maybe The police officers, they are on my side. But to make things very professional, I had to stay back there for them. They can go conduct themselves. So what I was told, Morimi and Baby weren't around. But if they were around for... Hello.
All right, there's a commercial break, but we can proceed. So guys, the reality is that when you are in an abusive marriage, there is high possibility that the father to Morimi was also abusive in his marriage. And that's why the mother to Morimi doesn't see any problem with that. She's like, if I was able to stay and take care of Morimi up to this age, why not? But you can see that is a recycle of poverty year after year. That family has no future. There's no future. Who can stay around a family that has no future? You know? In Kenya, we don't have destinies whereby you say like you are born in a family of the, you know, skin or hide people who prepare that and you remain there. No. We normally have a chance to change your life. And I think it's very wrong for people to believe that Halima was just supposed to continue staying with Murimi and be beaten and stand it. You can stand some things but not beating. You know, no more quarrels once in a while. And then, even if there are quarrels, they should not be verbal accusations that look narcissist. Because some people may not be physically beating you, but they can also arrest you in terms of verbal aspect. They feel you, they make you feel so small, they make you feel so useless. Remember, if we go back to the story of Halima, Halima is an orphan. She doesn't have an existing parent. And Murimi knows that, and his entire family. If they paid bride price, the baby is there. In fact, I learned that bride price is paid because of the children sometimes. And if the child is there, he will come back. There's no way he's going to disappear forever. And even if he disappears, what if he disappears? Marwa is in Nyabohanse, staying under Machete Man, and I don't justify that that is really correct. But then, if he feels that is the life he lives, then why not? You have seen also Brian and other people in that village staying, you know, away from their parents and they're surviving. Now, the reality is that if in your families you have such an experience, you won't ever defend a man who is doing this. Because, again, I know someone who got married, and then after 3 months, the man just disappeared and he cheated. He had gone to a different place. He wanted the wife to follow. The wife tried to follow. The man was just, you know, acting like a con. And she had to bear her child on her own. She stayed on her own. And recently, after working in Dubai, in Saudi Arabia, for 2 good years, she has been able to buy her piece of land. At least the piece of land that will be for the baby. And you cannot convince me that now the father just comes from nowhere and he claims that he's the father of that son and we allow it. He has to prove. All these years, where has he been? And what can he do for him? Can he compensate for whatever time he has lost? Even in America, we have seen, go to patriarchal courts. A child stays with their mother unless the mother is a careless person until they're 18. That is a rule. So I don't know, even when Murimi and the father were sticking on the baby and saying, they believe that just because Murimi contributed toward the birth of that child, the child belongs to him alone. That is a crude way of reasoning, because that was a reasoning that was done then. But currently, things have changed. It cannot be that forever. Things keep changing. And I think the parents of Murimi have also contributed towards his carelessness. Because if they were strict to him, if they were telling him the truth, if they could even have stopped him from selling his land, he could still be someone sober. If they would be castigating him for the evils and condoning him, he could be better than who he is. But they have kept quiet and let Halima carry the burden. And now they are just beginning to see that they are going to lose it. No wonder they are trying to stick on the baby so that maybe Halima would sympathize and go back and be helpless. So they are feeling bitter because they realize there is someone standing and someone strong. Because Davy Jr. is not just a nobody. He has money and he has the knowledge and he has the connections. That is the fear they are having. Now, if they were sober people who really care about the welfare of Halima, they would have gone to settle the cases and agree that he will never again do what he has done, And maybe they get to now have even Halima go to college. She can still go even if she's with Mrimi, but she works out on her life. You don't just stay stuck in your life. Every day you have to do something to change your life for the better. You can be who you want to be at whatever time you want, as long as you decide. Now it has come to the time for Halima to shine, and people are like, no, 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 no. Go back to that butter. Really? Like, people want to behave like in olden times. I hear that you would be beaten by your husband, you go to your home, and then your parents turn you back. Really? Can you people have such a heart? I don't think so. So let's listen to something here.
One of the colleges so that she can gain a skill. Okay, let me translate to her because I need, for her to understand everything. Mimi jukumu langu ilikuwa ni kupeleke shule, ujifunze angalau kitu yenye itakusaidia kwa maisha yako. Yeah, so that was my goal. Yeah, beauty and cosmetic. Because right now it's kind of getting difficult to get the baby, but we're not yet done, all right? We're not yet done because right now the government is taking place. The authority is taking in charge of that, For Halima.
In agribusiness, movement
the commercial break.
Everything.
Now people are asking how this lady, because she's from Tanzania, can manage to go to school. And I'm like, skills. When it comes to skills, all you need is to go and learn how to do it. By the way, when it comes to skills, even if you dropped at class 2, they don't really have to follow whether you dropped at class 2 or whether you have papers. They don't. You just go to such a college that is training skills, you learn your skills, and you come out with something to show that you have it. And of course, the skills, you are the one to be aggressive and apply it. If the subscribers will be willing to buy like machines, if she goes for cosmetics and beauty, she comes, opens a salon and proceeds. If it is tailoring that she likes, she learns how to make clothes or designs. It will not be a diploma or a degree. It will just be a certificate kind of to enhance her to know the skills. Do you know one thing with skills? If you learn how to do something, no one can take it from you. It's just like filming. You learn how to film, you don't need a certificate out of it, but you can be doing that by you yourself being aggressive on customers, maintaining them, treating them how they should, and things go on, all right?
I don't know.
Now, there was a proposal that someone is offering a job, and I was like, no, stop that. Do you know the kind of jobs people offer to these kind of ladies? It will be housework, house management. And the salaries in Kenya, they don't go beyond 10,000 shillings unless someone is an ambassador or high-ranking people. The salaries in most homes are below 10,000. Will that be good for her? How long will she do that? Soon and soon she will want to quit and start focusing on herself. So I don't think that is the best option, Davy Jr. The best option is she has skills, and after having skills, if she wants even to work in a home, it's okay. But for now, let her acquire skills so that she will be empowered. And when she meets other women out there, people say this is how we destroy homes. Of course, I understand many people know that when empower women, when women know that they can make money and stand on their own, people say that they become disrespectful. But I don't think so. The fact is, when women are knowledgeable or are informed and they have a way to earn, they begin to be assertive. They are assertive and independent. So they focus on growth. If they find someone who wants to grow with them, they'll grow with them. Automatically, they'll get married and stay and focus. But if they get someone who does not want to focus, they'll easily quit because they know what they need. And is that wrong in a society? I don't think there is any wrong with that. There's no wrong in that. Knowing your rights, is there a wrong even for a child to know their rights and ask for that space to be given? I don't think so. So the problem people have is that they just want to attack maybe, but then maybe give your thoughts. Give your thoughts. I'll be free to that.
It would be, kind of a sellout if I couldn't speak it out. But at least you knew what was happening and it was captured on video. Okay, so this one of you guys who sent me this fee structure, it is what you see here. You see? You see, Fee structure 3 months. Right there, guys. Number of modules. Right there. What do I mean? The amount that we have right now is very, very, very low to sustain her. So I don't know where to start. I don't know. So for me, guys, I'm just leaving it to God. So advise me accordingly. You know, yeah. Which one do you prefer? Should Halima go?
No, going to work.
Alright, guys, that is congrats, mom. She needs my help very, very urgently. Yeah, I have to do anything for congrats, mom. Yeah, that is it, guys. Let me get to know what you think about this video on the comment section. But we're hoping for the best. Okay, guys, let me pause the video, then I'll keep explaining more and more, because congrats to follow up with the baby. Then I want to be giving you more updates, guys, you know. Yeah.
Work today is broken. We're all working in too many disconnected apps, and it's killing team productivity.
So it's kind of low, but it want to help me do it, you know. Some communication, but at the same time I can boost. For real, guys, look, it's gonna be raining right now, and yeah, it feels good to.
All right, so let's get now to see the profiling that MWANGO was giving to. But I wanted to show you something. You know, some people might not have watched that video where Murimi was actually showing that Halima should go where she has to go. You know, sometimes people who are narcissists, they don't want to let someone be free.
Hey
that is
guys,
something.
How are you doing? I hope you're doing fine.
Let's just check on a video here.
I'm a digital content creator. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want you to check on this video.
I'm having Halima. Halima, what's up? Halima, she's crying. Halima, she's really crying. Halima, what's the problem? Guys, she's really crying. I feel so sad for her. She's saying the food that I brought here, Murimi, he's selling right now everything. That's why he's crying. This is very sad, Murimi. This is very sad. Why beat your wife? She's crying. Because we've been always helping her. The whole world, they are watching. Milk that I brought yesterday. Okay. My question is, why beat your wife? Why beat your wife?
I haven't beaten him because...
You haven't beaten her and she's crying. Anasema utachafu.
Amenipiga na nina mwiko majikoni, hata watu wakiwapa ananichapa na mwiko, alafu ananiacha.
So Halima, she's so sad. So what Halima is saying, Murimi is threatening her that he can kill her. Why threaten? Why threaten your wife?
Ameniruhusu majikoni.
Doesn't respect me.
You wanna marry another person? Because why tell her you wanna marry another person?
Unajua hapa ni kwa kamera unaongea.
Ni ukweli, acha watu waone.
Unajua ni kamera unaongea.
Ni ukweli.
If you're hearing these words, it's not a coincidence.
Let's skip this part. I think, guys, you are seeing what happened exactly.
These only these as remain. All of these. And I brought these milk.
Sasa yeye mwenyewe ananiambia eti ataenda. Yeye mwenyewe ananiambia
pole.
Tufanye kitu tutafanya.
Pole.
Chenye ni chako ni chako, chenye ni changu ni changu. Umesikia? Haya, wewe fanya aje? Chukua chenye unaona ni chako, wewe nenda kweli.
Anafanya tu mwema hapa.
Sawa. Hivyo tu.
Tunamsikia.
Kabisa. Uniheshimu kitu chochote hata dakika moja.
Ndio amekuja mwambie basi.
Haya basi, wacha ujinga, nitakuja nikuchapa tena mbele ya hii kamera. Uniheshimu hata dakika moja. Wewe chukua chenye unaona ni chako, chukua chako.
Now, when you look at that man, he was threatening to beat the wife even on camera. Now, what do you think he does when the camera is not on? And therefore, that is why I will not defend Murimi at all, at all, at all.
Huyu msichana anakupendanga na anakufanyia kila kitu. Hata wewe unajua. And people support you because of her. Namwambia Halima, watu wanawasupport kwa sababu yako. I swear, maziwa nilikwambia ni huyu mtoto alifanya na yeye. You have to apologize.
Now this guy apologized.
Unajua ni kamera. You know Matiko? You know Matiko? You know what Matiko did with the chicken? What did Matiko do? Everything? All right.
Wewe unajua hii ni kamera unajua.
No, najua mimi watu watanilaumu juu sikuwaambia na wanasupport huyu msichana. Why beat her?
Why umetoka tena niambia tutaishi na wewe, fundisha vitu vyako, endana nivute nivya nianze
kulipa. Why beat her? Why beat her? Why beat her? So I'm trying to tell him, hey, Halima, she has been very hardworking. Even today on my video, guys, I've already shot my video. This wasn't my video. These are like unexpectedly. Maybe on my next video when I release, you'll see Halima on the farm.
Now the only problem is that as Davy Jr. is intervening, he has to show on camera everything. But what if he did not show again? Did we know about what is going on? Now, of course, videos can be edited and they cannot be evidence. But still, in this case, they were very strong evidence against Murimi. Very strong. Now, Murimi is a very funny man. He kept fighting for this. You remember the day of the road for MWANGO. He went around, he was beaten thoroughly by Matiko's family, if you can remember them. Some of my videos show that. So he's just there to be in between or the crossroads, just so that maybe they stand with him. And that is not the way to go for a man, totally. So in the video, he went on to apologize. Let's see this.
Halima, she accepted the apology.
Mimi nitamsamehea na kila siku mimi huanga namsamehea, lakini msamaha wake ni kama mara nyingi sana tumekuwa wakikosana ndani. Tunakosana mimi na yeye. Hadi ananipigia magoti akijua amekosea. Inaisha. Jana tu amemaliza kunipigia magoti eti kwa sababu yenye alipita yakaisha. Hiyo jana kajirudia usiku tumelala.
So guys, let me explain what. So guys, what Halima she's saying, she has forgiven him, but it's always recurring. It's always recurring, you know.
Okay, don't repeat again, sincerely speaking.
I mean, he has been, been doing.
So look at that. Murimi testified that it won't repeat, but then the next day again, we saw that Halima had been sent away from her house. Okay, we saw that in this video. We saw that in this video. If you missed on it, it was this one. I may not show it actually so that I go back to MWANGO's case and finish. What was that?
Guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so it happened that he still had to, again, he happened to send away Halima from the house, and she had to go away. And she was staying at the neighbors. They had picked the child, they had taken her shoes and everything. So when you look at that, it means that Murimi actually had reached the limit. As I said in another video, he is realizing that people are drawing a lot of attention to Halima. And of course, that happens with subscribers. I've always been watching subscribers and the support they give to individuals. When they decide to support someone, they go for them. And there is nothing someone can do about it. Unfortunately, Halima may not get the assistance that she needs or even the freedom she needs if she continues staying with Murimi. And I don't mean that staying in a marriage would stop you from getting what you want. But in this case, that is what is happening. Now, let's get to the profiling of Congrats Mom here.
I'm leaving today. I'm leaving today, not tomorrow. You know? dishes for visitors stored in the cupboard or cabinets, wherever, you know, and they're only special for special occasions. If I take you upstairs, wow, you'll get a lot of dishes kept apart from the ones in the kitchen. You know, like it's so funny. Even when it comes to shoes, even when it comes to handbags, I don't know, but me, I'm so different. I'm like, I'm living today. I'm living today, not tomorrow. You know, if I buy my outfits, I need to wear them. You know, shoes and all that. It doesn't need to be a whole, like, kind of special occasion for me to dress up nicely. You know, so for my mom, I think that's just a behavior with African moms. Like this bag, this Ankara bag, I think I bought it in West Africa, if not Ghana. But again, there are other ones that I bought for her, beautiful ones. You know, there's one that I bought her in Senegal, pink, but she keeps it. My mom says, that is for what? Guys, let me tell you today, let me put the plate down. Kindly, there are clothes for gardening, there are clothes at home, there are clothes for the kitchen, there are clothes for sleeping. Every occasion has different types of clothes. So when she tells me that I can wear these shoes here at home, it's not possible. So I must know these shoes are for a journey. This one are for even dishes, everything. Mama, even dishes. Yes, even dishes you must know. These ones are for special visitors. These are for mine here because they break them. Like these cups, they were 6. And now because I brought them, all are broken. Only this one is there. Because there are things that you cannot all give out. Like these glasses, they break everything. So you must know at what occasion do you bring these plates down? At what occasion do you bring hot pots? You cannot bring all the hot pots like the big ones down here. We'll wash them. So mothers, that's how we behave. If African mothers, even those ones who are in West, they cannot bring all the utensils at the
Okay, guys. Guys, let me know. For those of you who are from, I have an audience who watch me from India, South Africa, Russia, you know, America, you know, and Jamaica. Let me know. Takia, do you have your parents isolating utensil for guests and utensil for home? Clothes for garden, clothes for dinner, and clothes for special occasions, and clothes for home? Obviously, especially when you are living in the rural, we have times you are going to the field to plow or weed or harvest. I don't think you would put on the same clothes you are using to go to church in this case. Ideally, I don't think so. That is my thought though. And when I'm going to work, there are clothes that I particularly put on from Monday to Friday. Then there are those that I particularly use on Saturday. Then there are Sunday ones. And that is why we have the name Sunday best. Is that Africa? MWANGO. Stop confusing us. I don't think that is the reality. Guys, tell me if I'm thinking otherwise. I don't think even the whites, I've been watching their videos, and I don't think that the whites normally like use all the utensil they have in the you know, in the cabinet or cupboard during the normal events where they are eating as a family, and then when guests come they use it. I don't think, whether it is Western USA or whatever. Let her prove us by maybe going to construct a home in America and then do that kind of construction. So if that will happen, then we'll actually accept that this is the reality. But when you look at what he's saying, it doesn't make sense because there is something for every occasion. That is why even when you're teaching students, there is dinner wear, there is you know, all the variety of wears, Sunday best. Like you cannot go with slippers to the farm. You need to put on maybe gumboots or, you know, specific clothes, things for the farm. And when you are coming to the construction site, there is also, you know, like a specific way to dress. Again, even when you're doing farming in the home, you need aprons for that. Various people do that anyway. That is what I believe. I don't think you just put on your best, Sunday best, and you're going to the garden. Or you put on the dinner wear and you are going to a funeral. I think it's all about what she's saying. It has some very little sense, and at the same time it is a generalization that is wrong. Not all African mothers do that, but I think even what they do is not totally wrong, because ideally, what Congrats mom has said here, that if you bring out all the utensils, they break. I experienced that. Whenever I buy utensil and I put them, all of them there, you will find that children are just misusing. Even when I buy hot pots, maybe I'll buy 6 of them. I can pick 2 we use, but then when visitors come, I'll need the entire set, because for a family, do I need the entire set to be used? Today we use this, today we use this. They look so bad. Unless it means that she has a channel or a stream of money, so she doesn't care. If they are broken, she buys more and brings. Okay? Anyway, let's proceed to the shaping of the new multi-billion house.
Women work so hard in Africa. This is our spirit, African spirit. Hey guys, the work that is going on here, wow, it's recommendable job. This is no joke. If you know, you know. Like me right now, I feel like I just want to scream. Because now this is what I'm preparing for. And it's so expensive.
MWANGO, why would you scream? The other day you were crying that they are just the masons who are letting you down. You have done the big purchases, everything is ready, and you want the house complete. Now, how do you come about now today again, begin to talk about you want to scream because this process is on? Everybody bites their heart, right? If that you can swallow, then bite your heart. You don't have to keep complaining and say you want to scream. Why would you scream? Yeah?
Oh, these are the parts that they're actually putting the slab on top. Maybe I go on the top. Now, 23, 24, 25. $104. Okay guys, welcome back to my retirement home. This is where I put all my money. This is what gives me sleepless nights. This is what I think about day and night. So for those who are new here, welcome to my home. Stop, but you know, so I can use them at least to cook for my dog. I'm kind of tired. It's not too much to ask for. Baba Ben is here helping me to light fire. Because we only have one matchstick remaining. So Baba Ben is the master. He said it's Indiana. The only remaining matchstick, he has to light it or else. Oh, we even have hata kiberiti ndio hiki walikiacha hapa nje. Yeah, this was left out here. Oh my God. This is where the stairs will be. So, I can't wait. So this is where the staircases come. Actually, that's where the door is. Those 2 pillars in between there, that's where the door is. Then you come up like this and go upstairs. Hey, it feels so good. Climb the stairs. Hey, guys, the work that has been done here is really awesome. We have the place all over.
Okay, so that is the multi-billion villa taking shape, okay? So if you know how to work 3 hard, you know how to work 3 hard, you'll automatically have that. Okay. So meanwhile, there was the handing over of the villa. Of course, that is a premiere because we watched that already. But their video was quite destructive.
tatu ama 4, zisipite 4. 4 hivyo kote. Good morning, guys. I thought the party is going on, but I'm not seeing a lot of people. Yes, Kizo. I thought I would see hundreds of people.
Oh, yes. I've just been talking about you.
You just arrived.
No, I've just come.
Okay.
How are you, my brother?
Good morning, guys.
Thank you so much, Marwa, my friend.
Yes.
I've just...
Bana nia iko straight. Ukitaka kuingia sehemu ingia tu. I'm telling him to be straight when he wants anything. Hi. Guys, sister, you didn't put the beam light. I was calling you. You know you have to put beam light. I think you can pack them.
Ni wangapi? Si ni vijana. Tuseme ukweli, utajua uzuri wa kitu kama inatokea. Brother Marwa, I'm encouraging you. Be very strong and just know that when people are talking much about you, then you are doing super well. Hata nyinyi, tu Marwa tu acha usaka. Just wait for them again, kind. Sasa mkiona Marwa na mwili yake hivyo, mkikuja mkimgongana, hata mimi kama mimi, let this guy grow far, tukimweka kwa comfort nzuri. Bro, I want to say a word. For behalf of the community around the
Sema kabisa sina nia ya kugombea kitu chochote. Kwanza msikizani sana mheshimiwa, sina nia. Nia yangu kubwa ni kuelimisha watu.
Of course, Marwa came out saying that he does not have intention to be a politician. Now, do you know why someone would not want to be a politician in Kenya? If you're already earning more than a president, why would you want to be a politician? The reason why people go for the political seats is because they want to generate income better than their current jobs. But if you're earning bigger than a president, you don't need that. You just settle on your whatever you're doing. And of course, there is money coming every blessed day from subscribers who are willing to, unleash their accounts, squeeze their accounts. So why bother go for such a seat? There is no need, just have the soft life. You don't have to go for any political position. Now I'm just asking, I've been checking. Sometimes many people keep saying that Marwa should be given a position of what? Marwa should be given a position of what? Does it mean when you're doing much for your community, you need to be a political leader? Not at all. And of course, there are so many people who are doing this in Kenya. When you look around, you see Eric Omondi. He does a lot for the people. He does a lot. And of course, people come around talking about him. They stain his name, but he goes on. How many people have come up and said that, for example, he has contributed this money and eaten? And the reality on the ground, Eric Omondi, anytime he's doing a project for people, he opens the bill for those people in their name. So how can he go and withdraw money from that account? He does not hold on the money like Marwa, like he's the one to receive and give. What Eric Omondi does, or Ogobina, they open a pay bill in the name of that family. And people will come about say he has eaten the money, he has done this, but the reality is that for him, he opens the bill for the family. There is no way I can go withdrawing on someone's bill money. Never. He also makes sure that M-Pesa accounts for that family are the ones being used. So when you look at that, it's not necessary that they really want to be a political aspirant. They're just challenging the system. For example, politicians are there. What are they doing for the people? Okay? So it's good. You come challenge the system, but be straightforward. Do what you're going to do. And of course, you don't have to really say people will not talk, because there is no way. As long as you are living, whether you are doing badly or good, people will talk about you. When you are poor, people will say you are very poor. You don't have a way to live. You don't know how to fend for yourself. You are lazy. You are cursed. When you are wealthy, they'll say, yeah, this person is using superstitious powers. They are stealing from people. All that will come out. But when you sit alone, are you guilty or innocent? That is what I always say. Ask yourself when you're sitting alone, are you guilty or innocent? If you are guilty, then you know that at one point, whatever you are scamming will be eaten up. How many people have you seen with the wealth that is acquired so fast, and then in years to come, they don't have anything? So many. especially among the police. We've seen a very best example among the police. They steal from people on the roads, and at the end of the day, they don't have anything to show of it. So guys, as we come to the end, because we'll be doing another reaction later during the day, the reality is that be yourself. Let what you are doing make you comfortable. If you are not guilty, let the people talk. You don't have to keep calling them names, calling them naysayers, haters, and I don't know, whatever. Any person is a hater at some point, and they are also, supportive at some point. Life is a duality. Where there is love, there is hate. Where there is life, there is death. Where there is survival, there is, where there is blessings, there is cursing. So we must know that life is a duality. Even those people who say that they are, positive, they also have a negative concept about other people. So there's no way life can be purely a straight line. Never. So that is how I'll end this, and I really appreciate for those who came handy and those who will be watching later. Let me go prepare the premiere for the lesson I did earlier, so that I don't have my phone loaded with a lot of stuff when I can make, space in my phone. Bye-bye. Let's meet later in another reaction.